Everyone, Shikishinobi mission number 4. Taxi rankers. Now, here in Melbourne, taxis, they're quite common. It's Murphy's Law. They're quite common when you don't need one, but when you want one, they are all taken. And annoyingly enough, I do have to rely on them for some part of my existence. Now, it's known here in Melbourne at least 3 cab drivers will die every year because people attack and murder them while they're driving. And while yes, 3 a year is not very many, that's not really the point. And I know more people are more likely to die in elevators than in a cab, but these people are doing you people a fucking service, and you thank them, and it's all over the news. For those who aren't in Melbourne or Australia, it's all over the news. Cab drivers are attacked, assaulted, abused, robbed, and rarely occasionally killed. Because the drunk idiots, particularly on Friday and Saturday nights, who get into cabs to get home, and the first thing in the morning when public transport isn't happening, they're abusive to the cab drivers because they're smashed. And yeah, I don't find that very fair, that they've taken their time to do you a service, and you're going to treat them this way. I said light. Anyway, but yeah, that's me talking with cab drivers. Now, the other thing is, here in Australia, here in Melbourne at least, most cab drivers are from overseas. Indian, African American, Israel, from a lot of places. It's actually or Asian, it's very hard to find a Caucasian cab driver. I don't have a problem with this. Honestly, I don't. Okay? Most cab drivers are easy to communicate with, because I catch a cab every Thursday night coming home from karaoke, and I say, this is where I live, I can direct you if you need me to, if you're not sure how to get there. And they'll say, yes, I know the way, or no, please give me directions. It's quite easy. I find the real challenge these days is actually getting a cab, not getting to your destination in a cab. Okay, let's start at the actual taxi rank. Now, back at the time when I did Shikishinobi Mission 2 at the movies, after going to see the movies, I went to catch a cab home because the bus that went past my place had stopped by that time. And there's a lot of people at the taxi ranks, and people left, and I was left there with one elderly guy, and I think he was off his tree. He must be nuts. And he offered me to share a cab with him, and I said, no thanks, I was going to be fine. And he said so many racist comments in the duration of 5 minutes. And if I wasn't so self-controlled, I would have grabbed him and shaken him and said, look here, fucktard, these people have taken their time out to do you a favour to get you home. They don't have to. They can fucking well let you walk. Okay, so don't go giving them racist crap. Okay, because they're taking you home. Okay, they could drop you off halfway there and let you walk. Okay, so yes, sometimes it does get a little confusing trying to communicate with a cab driver who doesn't speak proper English. And I do not mean any racist offence by this, but at the same time, it's unfair to hear other people be rude to them. And it's surprising some of the comments I get. Other things that have happened while waiting on a cab. Wow. You would not believe. The longest I've waited for a cab is 2.5 hours. Me and my ex-housemate went shopping, and the shopping centre's on a kilometre down the road, but we had like upwards of 20 bags worth of shopping, frozen's included. And we called a cab and said, we're here, please come and get us. Half an hour, we called them again and said, our cab hasn't come, please come and get us. An hour went past, we called them again. At an hour and a half we called my present housemate, who called up the taxi company, blasted the shit out of them, and she can be really loud if she wants to be. Excuse me, I'm drooling. And told them, look, my carer and a visually impaired kid are waiting. Here is their phone number. If your cab driver gets lost, call them for directions. After this we waited another half hour, so we're about the 2 hour mark now. And we were waiting in an upper level car park, that's the word I'm looking for, upper level car park, and we could see the ramp from where we were standing. And we saw a taxi coming up the ramp. We jumped and we waved and we screamed and we called out. The cab got halfway up, did a U-turn, drove off. We called the cab company and they said, oh, they couldn't find you. Duh! We were wearing bright colours. You couldn't miss us. We were jumping up and down. So at the 2.5 hour mark, the cab came along and, ooh, we weren't happy. And the same thing happened. This makes it more annoying. Same experience. Went shopping earlier in the day, in the middle of summer. Okay, and there were 3 of us this time. We called a cab and we were sitting outside the taxi rank. A cab came, but they were off duty, so we couldn't take that cab. We waited for 2.5 hours in the friggin' sun. And being a redhead, and those of you who are at the As One Melbourne gathering will know that I get sunburned very easily. So we were in the scorching sun for 2 hours waiting for this fucking taxi to arrive, and we were so dehydrated, it was scary. And yeah, that was not a good mood setter either. Now, this is the best of the worst of the taxi ranker stories, and this is the kind of time where communication between the cab driver and the person who's getting the cab really needs help. I was at a party at a friend's place, a bit of a distance from where I was living, and to get to one of the main streets near where I am, you could take the highway or you could drive the long way. And I got in the cab and I told the driver my address, and I said, you have to get to this street, but do not take the highway, otherwise you'll come out past the entrance to my street. I said it as clearly as that. Do not take the highway. So what the fuck does he do? He took the highway. He came out past the exit onto my street, so I said, look, idiot, you've come out too far, you didn't listen to me, you've got to take the long way around now, here's how you do it. So I directed him, and we came to this point to turn into my street, turning right. Please remember, in Australia, for those of you who aren't Australian, that we drive on the left side of the road. Important. During the whole trip, he failed to indicate his turning direction 4 times, which is illegal, as I'm sure you know. And when we got to my street, I told him to turn right, because that would head him towards my place. And there's a traffic island there. He turned into the right-hand lane, and the traffic island goes for about... well, it goes a short distance, and our street is used as for drag races, and if a car had been coming in the opposite direction, I'd be dead. Duh! It is a right-hand turn always into the left-hand lane. Left-hand lane. What is so hard? So I got home, almost in a state of shock, to this driver's very poor listening and driving skills. And I called up the taxi company and I said, look, I want to complain, this driver is a psychopath. I put the complaint through. I haven't seen him again. It's been about a year. But the point is, he was dangerous. So, in the conclusion to this mission, here's what I think. There needs to be more respect between the driver and the passenger, or passengers. The passengers need to respect the drivers, because the drivers are doing them a favour. The drivers need to respect the direction and advice of the passengers, because the passengers might know where they're going. So if we can work out this sort of balance where everyone gets what they want and cab drivers don't die or get hurt, that'd be freaking great. Okay, because I want a more efficient cab service to get me home. I don't want to be waiting 2.5 hours, and if you get lost, fucking get some help. Okay, I was advised long ago that if you're going to get into a taxi, it is well advised to have a street directory with you. I'm starting to believe them. So this has been Shikishinobi Mission 4. I'll return in Shikishinobi Mission 5. The objective of that mission is not known yet. I still have to do those missions that people have suggested to me. I will get onto them, I promise. Bit of research involved. Thank you, Sean1912, for giving me a bit of help with that, with your request. I will get to that soon. I do need a bit of help. Okay, so talk to you soon. This is Shikishinobi, signing out.